Welcome to Gemini for Leaders, your guide to EBR's AI Compass. This lesson is designed to be self-paced. You can watch the video, read the slides, and complete the activities as you go. This training is brought to you by the EBR Instructional Technology team. My name is Vin Vu, and we are here to support your journey into AI integration. Today, we have 4 main goals. We want to reclaim your time by automating administrative tasks, mastering AI boundaries, using the traffic light system, learning to prompt with precision using the RTC-C formula, and building custom gems. Currently, many leaders are trapped in the whirlwind, with 60% of the day consumed by administrative tasks. Our mission is to automate these mundane tasks so you can get out from behind the desk and focus on the people and pedagogy. So what is Gemini? Gemini can be your AI executive assistant. It is a high-level thought partner that can synthesize 50-page district policies, or it can draft empathetic community responses in just seconds. Using the enterprise versions ensure your school's data remains private and secure. But still, do not input any PII, personal identifiable information. So we use a traffic light system to set boundaries. The green zone is for automation and efficiency, like summarizing reports or handling FAQs. The yellow zone is for ideation and for drafting, where Gemini acts as a thought partner to help you overcome writer's block. The red zone is for high-stakes human tasks. Mediating conflict or delivering performance plans requires emotional intelligence and must remain strictly human. As a leader, you must always be the final editor. It is vital to critically examine all AI outputs for potential bias and accuracy before they are finalized. So, to get powerful results, avoid vague prompts and use the RTCC formula. Start with a role, who the AI is acting as, define the task, the specific action, provide context, the background, and then set constraints, the tone, the length, or the format. This video will show you where to access Gemini and how to use Gemini. So there are a couple ways to go to Gemini. You can go to Gemini from the Google Apps on the corner here. You can, of course, if you've used it before or maybe you've seen it pop up, there's a Gemini app right here. Or you can go to your Google Classroom. It's going to be on your left-hand side right here, Gemini. And it's going to have a list of things that can help you generate from planning all the way to administrative tasks. So we're going to talk about start a chat. But another way to go to Gemini is type in gemini.google.com. And it's going to lead you straight to the chatbot. Okay, so from here, start a chat. Same thing, start a chat. So if you have looked through the slides, you would see the RTCC method, the formula. So I already have one right here that we're going to use in just a little bit. The R, role, task, context, and constraints. But before that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the tools. So if you look over here, this is what your screen should look like when you use Gemini. On the left-hand side, you can add a new chat. These are the things that you have generated, and we're going to talk about gems later on, but these are all your chats that you have with Gemini. Okay, so now you go to this box. You have these different versions of Gemini. So I suggest you do Pro. And you can also attach any files you need into the chat so it can give more relevance to what you are trying to do or generate. So you can upload files from your desktop or computer, or you can upload files from your drive from here. The next, we're going to talk about the tools. There's different type of tools. You can use Gemini as a guided learning, like you want to upload a whole thick 60 pages of notes or whatever, and you can use it for guided learning. Or you can create images,
it has a couple limits to create images. So it works well with a couple images, and after that it becomes the fast version. Next, this is actually new. To create music, you can ask Gemini to create lyrics to maybe an announcement music to motivate students for the LEAP test, just a quick 30-second music. And with Canvas, this is where you click to generate online games, interactive activities, or Google Slides, like Google Slideshows right here. So we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So let's go back to our prompt. Now let's go back to the prompt. I'm just going to copy and paste. It'll be good if you already have one right here and you just type it out, what kind of role, tasks, context, and constraints that you want to give to Gemini. So from here, I did say to act as a veteran principal, but you put whoever you are and you add some more details. And I'm going to ask Gemini to draft a PD agenda about student data. Add in tips and strategies for student success in ELA. So you can put different subjects or grade levels depending on what you are wanting Gemini to generate. Context, make sure you be very specific. You can add target group. Constraints, you can keep it under how many words you want. Use the agenda template attached. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the template that I'm going to ask it to use so it can reference this template to create the agenda. So this is from the ILT agenda meeting, a copy of it. So instead of fast, I'm going to click Pro and submit. And from there, it's already here. So it looks like this. Once it generates the content, if you like it, it's going to ask you another question right here, so that if you want help with something else, it will definitely do whatever it's telling you that it can do. If you like it, you click More, Export to Docs, and it will go to your Google Docs. It's going to stay there until you delete it. Let's just say you don't like what it generated, you want to add on something else or change some things. Of course, you can go back and forth with Gemini with that. Let's just say you like it already. So you open up Google Docs and it's going to have the title already. And then, of course, you edit as you please. Want to delete some stuff, you can. If you want to copy and paste this to the original agenda, that's fine too. So I would delete this if I was going to use it. Let's just say that you want to use this to generate a slideshow that aligns with your agenda. You can, from here, click on Tools, click on Canvas. Again, Canvas is to build things like slideshow, slide deck, Google slide decks. So create a Google slideshow that aligns with the agenda. And then from here you can add on more details, like make sure it's 20, not more than 20 slides, whatever it is, give it some constraints. And then I'm just gonna click that. From there, you'll be able to see the thinking or what it's trying to do to create the Google slideshow. Generates a slide, looks like this. So let's just say you reviewed it and you think there's something wrong with it. Again, go back to the chat and try to change it with the chat, or you can export it to the slides, Google Slides. So when you click there, this will export it to Google Slides. From there, you have access to edit it however you please, add more pictures, change the words, change the format of it or whatnot. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And there you have it.
Now let's talk about custom gems. Custom gems allow you to take the RTC formula and make it permanent. By baking the role and constraints into the instructions section of a gem, You only have to provide the task and context for future use. Gems function as dedicated assistants for repetitive, critical tasks. You can create specific gems to serve as a feedback coach, policy guardrail, the community voice, or maybe a data analysis. If you click here, there will be examples of these custom gems to see how they can be applied directly to your daily leadership responsibilities. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Right here, these are the gem titles that you can probably title your gem. These are example of descriptions that you can copy and paste into your gems, and this is recommended attachments. But just make sure you don't attach any personal identifiable information. And then here it explains again PII and privacy first. Lastly, these are the administrative safeguards. And if you want to put this in a gem for a privacy shield, you can copy and paste this part right here just to make sure you cover yourself. Next, let's talk about creating a gem to customize whatever specific task you want Gemini to ask, or you to ask Gemini to generate. So, to go to gem, you would go back to Gemini in the Google Classroom and click Create Gem. That's one way. Another way is whenever you're in the Gemini homepage, and then you would see the expand menu, you go down here to the word gems, and from there you just click add new gem from there. So this is how you would see that page. So I already have one here for you guys to use. So I asked Gemini to prompt a gem for me. So with that being said, let me go back to this one. So I'm going to name it the LER Mastery Coach. Let's say that you want to support teachers in the LER rubric scoring. So I am going to give it a description. So the description is right here. Just copy and paste. It tells you what it is. Describe your gem and explain what it does. So I'm going to ask it to be an expert advisor for school leaders to move teachers from developing to proficient and exemplary on the LER rubric. And then from there, the instructions are right here. I'm not going to read all that, but very detailed. So the default tool, you can click on any tool that you want it to create. Do you want it to be a guided learning gem, a deep research gem, create images gem, or create music gems, or lastly, build an interactive game or Google Slides show. So every time you use this gem, you can create slideshows. If you want that, make sure you click Create Canvas, okay? But if not, just do No Default Tool. For the knowledge, you want to add any files you want the gem to reference. So this one asked me to upload the official LER handbook. So I have it right here. So I'll click here. It's on the web. Download it. I'm pretty sure everyone has a copy of that. And then I'm going to upload it from here. Add files. Upload files, or it can be in your drive as well. So the LER handbook from there. And then after it loads, we'll wait for it to load. Once it loads, it will be ready to save. So it's good. You're going to have to give it a minute. If it's a long PDF file, it's going to take a little bit more time. Okay, and then you click save. Once you click save, it's going to pop up. If you want to start a chat, let's start a chat with this. So I'm going to ask, let's see, this is a test prompt that I asked Gemini to create. So I'm going to copy and paste this so I don't waste time. So the test prompt is,
I observed a lesson where a teacher used a PowerPoint the whole time. Students were engaged but only answered yes or no questions. How do I coach them to move from questioning level 2 to level 4? Give me the feedback script. And of course, you have the pro version. And it's going to generate the response, of course. This is just an example. And from there, it's going to go back into the gym and going back to the resources that you put as reference, and it's going to pull information from there and not the web. Sometimes it can pull from the web as well, so make sure you read over to make sure it makes sense, to make sure everything is correct, things like that. So it's gonna tell you all that good stuff. You want to make it shorter or make it more simple, it's up to you. And that is all for gyms. So you can do any type of gym that you need. So if you want to pin a gym, you can go to the gyms. I'm going to show you real quick. And then you can pin it from here. Let's say you like this, and then you can pin it to the top where you can see. You can only pin 5 gyms at once. Everything else goes right here. Any other gyms you should or have created will be over here. It will not be deleted until you delete it right here. And that's all. And I hope you enjoy this video and this lesson. Have a great day.